From a fashion maverick's on-stage follies to the multiform geometry of Latin American art, it's all here on today's show. He's a living legend in the world of haute couture, an ambassador for French style, albeit with a very quirky twist. Now Jean Paul Gaultier has turned his hand to cabaret. The little boy who started designing mini corsets for his teddy bears and then went on to make them for Madonna has created his own fashion freak show with a little help from a colourful crew of dancers, models and performers, and with artistic input from French film director Toni Marshall. I went to check it out.
Bienvenue aux Folies Bergères. Le spectacle va commencer.
Welcome to Folies Bergères. The show will start.
He's irreverent, eccentric and responsible for elevating Breton stripes to a high-end catwalk look. Jean Paul Gaultier's designs have entered fashion history and they're a vital part of the contemporary scene too. Now he's brought that drama and exuberance to the stage in his fashion freak show. It's on at a legendary cabaret venue here in Paris, the Folies Bergères. The show takes in episodes from his childhood and his debuts in the fashion industry, with days in the couture studio and nights in the clubs of Paris and London. Jean Paul Gaultier, this is a very personal story, fashion freak show. Yeah. What was the most important chapter of your life to bring to the stage?
The revue is a mix of, at the same time, happiness, enjoyment, and also sometimes a little like emotion with sadness. But not sad. The sadness is very short, because I think always from any experience, even negative, you can find something very positive in everything. Like you can see also from the beauty everywhere, even in some things that look like strange and different and people are frightened. But sometimes when you look at it, not with the spirit of what are the code, what it has to be, what is politically correct, etc., you can find some beauty everywhere.
And we're in a mythical, beautiful cabaret venue here, the Folies Bergères. How important is this location for your show?
It is very important for me because it's a place where I saw, first I dreamed like to make a revue, seeing a little part of it when I was 9 years old. I didn't know exactly what it was meaning, but after I know that I put some feather in the arse of my teddy bear. So it makes some effect on me in some way. And so now it's important for me to be there. It's a place where truly I wanted to do it.
There are reflections on sexuality, gender and the subjectivity of what's considered beautiful. Freak show suggests things that are not ordinary or not normal. Why and how are your cast extraordinary?
Oh, the cast, of course, but you know, already since the beginning of my fashion collection, you know, I should say that I did like casting myself. I love that. In the beginning, very much, when I started fashion, I wanted to see, I saw some girls that were in the palace, you know, it was a class, and they were very interesting, and they were very like different from the other. So I was like, oh my God, how great they are. I didn't like so much like the classical type of model, you know. I always liked some strange beauty to show. It doesn't mean that I don't like the professional model, because there is some that are truly beautiful and have a great look and good attitude. But I mean, in general, I can see also some people that are in the street or somewhere else, you know, that can also be model.
The fashion designers overseen the writing, direction, and of course some 200 costumes for this cabaret musical hybrid, from bear suits to conical bras and the trademark maritime stripes.
This is my Jean Paul look for the first act. And so they wanted to obviously hit the marinière, which is the classic, iconic Jean Paul. But he saw my tattoo during the rehearsal, so they asked that they pull it down nice and low so that you can get the heart, which I think is also a classic Jean Paul image. And then these are actually Jean Paul's personal jeans, I was told in the fitting. I'm sure they've been danced in already a lot by himself, so yeah, I can feel the magic in the pants.
It's not a theatrical play, not a musical. It's not a fashion show either. It's a sort of made to measure. It's totally Jean Paul.
You know that it won't be untrue. You know that I won't be out here. If I was to say to you, God, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire.
It's a celebration of the fun and folly of planet fashion with no shortage of sparkle and sass. And like a travelling circus, after its 6-month run here in Paris, Jean Paul Gaultier is taking his fashion freak show on the road for an international tour.
And keep on wishing. Remember your dream, your only skin. So keep on pushing. Take nothing less than the suffering best.
We're taking a look at an exhibition now which flags up a common thread in arts from South America. The Cartier Foundation in Paris is hosting an exhibition called Southern Geometries, which finds geometrical echoes in artwork from Mexico, Bolivia, Paraguay and Brazil, all the way to Chile's Tierra del Fuego. It's an original perspective on the diversity of indigenous and post-colonial creation in the region. Mary Schuster and Claire Rush have this report.
Graphic works in bold colours, and large-scale installations exploring the concept of space. The Cartier Foundation is exhibiting 70 contemporary artists, along with some 250 works that showcase Latin American art's penchant for geometric shapes.
We were really interested in the omnipresence of geometric shapes in Latin American art since time immemorial. They span from ancient ceramics to the body painting of indigenous tribes, right through to contemporary art.
Among the artists is architect Freddy Mamani, known for having transformed his hometown of El Alto in Bolivia. The buildings he designed, known for their colorful facades, were inspired by Aymara culture. For this exhibit, the Bolivian architect chose the Cartier Foundation building itself as his subject, covering steel beams with his art to create a colorful space.
This exhibit in Paris brings two cultures together. We wanted to show that this modern European space can incorporate another architecture that's equally modern but Latino.
The graffiti artist Flix chose to exhibit his work not only on the museum's white walls, but also on its facade, staying true to the spirit of street art. Inspired by Paris and wishing to remain anonymous, he leaves his mark elsewhere in the museum's neighborhood, in places he finds abandoned or overlooked.
In general, when I see electrical utility boxes, manhole covers or fire hydrants, I envision geometric shapes and vibrant colours. My inspiration comes from the urban environment and its everyday objects, which can also be the canvas for forms and colours.
The Southern Geometries exhibit will run until February 24th. But some works may remain visible in Paris well beyond the exhibit's end date.
Another exhibition that's just opened in Paris takes us to Poland this time, focusing on the little-known avant-garde period and the founding members of the art school of Lodz. The show zooms in on the work of artist couple Katarina Kobro and Władysław Strzeminski. The sculptor and painter were instrumental in developing modernism and abstraction in Polish art. As well as their significant body of work, they're also involved in teaching and publishing collaborations, which laid the foundations for 20th century creation in Poland. That show's on at the Pompidou Centre here in Paris. We're finishing with art from a woman who's been described as Portugal's foremost living painter. The cruel stories of Paula Rego have come to Paris, and they're on show at the Orangerie Gallery. Rego established her career in London in the 1950s, a lone female artist in a male-dominated group. She went on to make evocative, unsettling and spellbinding figurative portraits of domestic life over the following decades. Canvases that can be seen as dark fairy tales, exploring power and gender struggles. Here's a preview of that exhibition, which runs until January. Do remember to check out our website for more arts and culture, and you can follow Encore on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram too. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.